In this video titled, Wildfires and Droughts, we will explore the alarming connection between these two environmental crises that are increasingly affecting our planet. As wildfires become more frequent and intense, driven by a combination of natural and human factors, they pose severe threats to air quality, ecosystems, and even our health. Additionally, we'll dive into the impacts of drought, from agricultural challenges to water scarcity, and discuss potential mitigation strategies. Join us as we uncover the complexities of wildfires and drought, and what they mean for our future. 1. Increased frequency and intensity. In recent decades, wildfires have become more frequent and intense, a trend that can largely be attributed to rising global temperatures and climate change. This increase in wildfire activity is particularly noticeable in regions like California, where prolonged dry seasons and heat waves create ideal conditions for fires to ignite and spread. The hotter and drier climate contributes to a longer wildfire season, stretching resources and making it harder for firefighting efforts to keep up. As global temperatures continue to rise, we can expect wildfires to become an even more prominent challenge, affecting not only those living in fire-prone areas but also having far-reaching consequences for the environment and public health. 2. Lightning and human activity. While lightning strikes are a natural cause of wildfires, human activities are responsible for a significant portion of these catastrophic events. Careless actions such as leaving campfires unattended, discarding cigarettes, and acts of arson contribute to the frequency of wildfires. Industrial accidents and the expansion of urban areas into wildlands further exacerbate the problem, creating more opportunities for fires to start. This human influence on wildfires highlights the need for increased awareness and prevention measures, as well as stricter regulations to minimize the risk of human-caused fires. 3. Wildfires and air quality. One of the most immediate impacts of wildfires is the significant decline in air quality. The smoke and particulate matter released during a fire can travel vast distances, affecting air quality in regions far from the actual blaze. This pollution poses serious health risks, particularly for individuals with respiratory conditions, children, and the elderly. The haze from wildfires can obscure visibility, disrupt daily life, and even impact transportation. It is crucial for communities to monitor air quality during wildfire events and take proactive measures to protect public health, such as issuing health advisories and providing clean air shelters. 4. Impact on ecosystems. While some ecosystems have evolved to be fire-adapted, with certain plants relying on fire for seed germination, wildfires can still have devastating effects on wildlife habitats. Intense fires can lead to the loss of biodiversity, displace species, and alter the structure and function of ecosystems. The destruction of vegetation and soil erosion following a wildfire can also increase the risk of flooding and landslides, further impacting the environment. Conservation efforts and land management practices that incorporate fire ecology are essential to maintaining the resilience of ecosystems in fire-prone areas. 5. Wildfires and carbon emissions. Wildfires contribute to climate change by releasing large amounts of stored carbon from trees and soil into the atmosphere. This release of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases exacerbates global warming, creating a feedback loop that increases the likelihood of future fires. The loss of vegetation also reduces the capacity of forests to act as carbon sinks, further intensifying the impact of wildfires on the global climate. Addressing this issue requires a multifaceted approach, including reducing human-caused ignitions, enhancing forest management, and investing in reforestation and restoration efforts. 6. Fire-resistant planting. To mitigate the spread of wildfires, some communities have adopted fire-wise strategies, such as planting fire-resistant vegetation around homes and creating defensible zones. These measures reduce the risk of fires spreading to structures and provide valuable time for evacuation and firefighting efforts. Fire-resistant plants, such as succulents and certain native species, are less likely to ignite and can act as a barrier to flames. Educating homeowners and communities about fire-wise landscaping and building practices is a crucial step in enhancing resilience to wildfires. 7. Wildfire season. Wildfire season typically occurs during the summer and fall months when vegetation is dry, temperatures are high, and thunderstorms increase the risk of lightning strikes. However, climate change is causing shifts in the timing and duration of wildfire seasons, leading to earlier and longer fire periods in many regions. This extended season places additional strain on firefighting resources and increases the potential for large, destructive fires. Understanding the seasonal patterns of wildfires and preparing accordingly is vital for communities living in fire-prone areas. 8. Economic costs. The economic costs of wildfires are enormous, encompassing damage to property, infrastructure, and the natural environment, as well as the expenses associated with firefighting efforts. The loss of homes, businesses, and agricultural land can have long-lasting financial impacts on individuals and communities. Insurance claims, rebuilding costs, and the disruption of local economies further contribute to the economic burden of wildfires. Investing in prevention, preparedness, and recovery measures is essential to minimizing the financial impact of wildfires and supporting affected communities. 9. Firefighting challenges. Fighting wildfires presents numerous challenges, particularly in remote or rugged areas where access is limited. Firefighters often rely on aircraft, controlled burns, and other specialized techniques to combat these blazes, but the unpredictable nature of wildfires can make containment difficult. Weather conditions, terrain, and the availability of resources all play a role in the effectiveness of firefighting efforts. Supporting firefighters through adequate training, equipment, and resources is crucial to protecting lives and property from the threat of wildfires. 10. Global wildfire impact. Wildfires are not confined to any single region. They are a global issue with far-reaching consequences for climate, wildlife, and human health. Countries worldwide, from Australia to the Amazon rainforest, have experienced catastrophic wildfires that highlight the interconnectedness of our planet's ecosystems. Addressing the global impact of wildfires requires international cooperation, knowledge sharing, and coordinated efforts to mitigate the risks and adapt to the changing climate. 11. Definition of drought. A drought is defined as a prolonged period of abnormally low rainfall, leading to water shortages that affect agriculture, drinking water supplies, and industrial use. Droughts can have severe impacts on ecosystems, as plants and animals struggle to survive in the absence of sufficient water. The lack of precipitation can also exacerbate other environmental issues, such as wildfires and soil degradation. Understanding the definition and characteristics of droughts is essential for developing effective response strategies. 12. Impact on agriculture. Droughts have a profound impact on agriculture, causing crop failures, livestock losses, and subsequent food shortages. The lack of water reduces crop yields, leading to increased prices and financial losses for farmers. In extreme cases, prolonged droughts can result in famine, affecting the food security of entire communities. Strategies to mitigate the impact of droughts on agriculture include developing drought-resistant crops, improving irrigation practices, and implementing water conservation measures. 13. More frequent and severe climate change is contributing to the increased frequency and severity of droughts, particularly in regions that are already water scarce. Areas such as parts of Africa, Australia, and the southwestern United States are experiencing more frequent and intense drought conditions, posing significant challenges to water management and resource allocation. Addressing the root causes of climate change and developing adaptive strategies is essential to mitigating the impact of droughts on vulnerable regions. 14. Soil degradation. Droughts can lead to soil degradation and desertification, making land less fertile and more prone to erosion. The loss of vegetation cover and reduced soil moisture content contribute to the deterioration of soil quality, affecting both natural ecosystems and agricultural productivity. Preventing soil degradation requires sustainable land management practices, reforestation efforts, and the restoration of degraded lands to enhance their resilience to drought conditions. 15. Water scarcity. Water scarcity is one of the most pressing consequences of droughts, leading to water rationing, reduced access to drinking water, and conflict over water resources. In areas where water is already scarce, Droughts exacerbate the competition for limited resources, affecting communities, industries, and ecosystems. Addressing water scarcity requires improved water management practices, investment in infrastructure, and the development of alternative water sources, such as desalination and rainwater harvesting. 16. Long-term economic impact. The economic impact of droughts extends beyond immediate losses in agriculture and can have long-lasting effects on communities and economies. Reduced agricultural yields, unemployment in farming communities, and increased food prices contribute to the economic burden of droughts. The costs associated with managing water resources and implementing drought mitigation strategies further strain financial resources. Building economic resilience to droughts requires investment in sustainable water management, agricultural innovation, and community support. 17. Fires and droughts. Droughts and wildfires are interconnected, as dry conditions create an environment conducive to the ignition and spread of fires. The lack of moisture in vegetation increases its flammability, making it easier for fires to start and spread rapidly. This relationship highlights the need for integrated approaches to managing both droughts and wildfires, addressing the underlying causes of each and developing strategies that enhance the resilience of communities and ecosystems to these natural phenomena. 18. Human health. Droughts can have significant impacts on human health, as water scarcity affects hygiene, nutrition, and the spread of diseases. In areas without sufficient water for sanitation, the risk of waterborne illnesses increases, posing a threat to public health. Poor nutrition due to food shortages and the stress associated with drought conditions can also affect physical and mental well-being. Addressing the health impacts of droughts requires ensuring access to clean water, promoting hygiene practices, and providing support to affected communities. 19. Global droughts. Droughts are a global phenomenon, affecting regions around the world and highlighting the need for international collaboration in addressing these challenges. Recent notable droughts include the 2011 Horn of Africa drought, the California drought of 2012 to 2017, and ongoing water crises in parts of India and China. These events underscore the importance of sharing knowledge, resources, and strategies to mitigate the impact of droughts on a global scale. 20. Drought mitigation strategy. Strategies for mitigating the impact of droughts include water conservation, the development of drought-resistant crops, improved water management, and large-scale infrastructure projects like reservoirs and desalination plants. These measures aim to enhance the resilience of communities and ecosystems to drought conditions, ensuring a sustainable water supply and reducing the vulnerability of agriculture and other sectors to water shortages. By investing in drought mitigation strategies, we can better prepare for and adapt to the challenges posed by droughts in a changing climate.